short game is our priority. If you could characterize, this is a 40-yard shot here. If you could characterize how you would think your way through this. I mean, you did make the statement that you have no idea how to hit this shot.
Yeah.
Because you got nothing but bad history that you remember, right?
That's right.
So, tell me what you try to do.
Well,
what have you learned? What have you learned about this shot?
I just open my stance a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think short backswing and accelerate through the ball.
Okay, good. So basically what we got here is another version of what we talked about earlier with the full swing. Where the
that
clubs,
looks like I'm jammed up a little bit.
Yeah, you are. Well, now what you got, see that little movement with the legs? That's the good part about what you're doing. That's good movement for that short of a shot.
Okay.
But I'm not really crazy about the setup, or I'm not crazy about much of anything other than that.
All right. Well, that's good, because I'm not crazy about it either.
So another thing we got going here is the same thing. One reason why you put the ball back in your stance is to offset the fact that you hit it fat.
Okay. Yeah.
Not maybe subconsciously.
Yeah.
But we've also heard that putting the ball back in the stance is one of the choices of a short game shot. Okay. So it's never going to get as high as it could get, though, because of the de-lofted shaft. So that sand wedge, I assume that's what it was, right?
Yeah, I hit a 60.
60. Right. So that 60 is not a 60 if it comes in with an impact like that.
Right.
It got turned down to probably 52, something like that. So that's a de-loft. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to bring the club into it that way. Because if you unhinge it too soon, see, that came in with a little bit more loft now, right? It wasn't the perfect impact, but you started with it bent, and then it came in a little bit more perpendicular. So a lot of this is going to have to do with how this club gets unhinged. Here, let's look at a back view from that. So what we're going to have to do is try to get a fundamental basis on this shot, whereby we start with the impact theory and say, all right, what do I want to do with this shot? Do I want to hit it high? So with that in mind, I want to get, this is not a chip and run shot, and that's basically what you're set up for here.
Okay.
It's kind of a full motion shot here. 40 yards is not a baby swing, because you got a nice big full follow through here. So your hit stays nice and still, though.
All right.
That's the good news. We got a little spin out with the legs there. See how your legs are? Feet are kind of spinning a little bit. But this is the view, I think. You're kind of jammed up here, right? It's almost like you got to move your leg otherwise you're gonna run into your right knee, right? So we're gonna create some more space in there. What's happening is, if we watch impact and see where your arm comes at impact, top of your arm, versus where it is now, see how it's coming out a little bit? So that means it's going to be on the heel of the golf club.
Oh, well, that'll cause a shank. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a shank is nothing more than the club coming out. The club has to be out in order to hit it in the heel. And hitting in the heel and hitting in the hosel are the same thing. If you hit it in the heel, you're going to get away with it. If you hit it in the hosel, it's going 45 degrees to the right.
Right.
Because the round part of the hosel meets the round part of the ball.
Yeah.
It's 45
It's
degrees.
gone. Yeah.
There's not enough flat surface to make it keep going forward.
Right.
So you could hit it on the heel, and you wouldn't shank it.
Right.
It's still a heel shot.
Right.
So you got a big body turn there, and look like you're doing all your motion with your hands here. So you just got to get you more neutral with your body, I think.
Okay.
As a starting point.
Okay.
And just kind of go from there. There's nothing like just jumping out and saying. It's just a lot of. Got a big hard wrist set. Let's go to this little mini one here where we can see a little shank. I think this is the one.
That's not the
That's
shank.
a
That's
7.
my chip.
That's a 7. Okay.
That's another chip, I think.
Good.
This is the shank.
No, shank was
must
from
be the one before that.
from the front view. All right, so what we're going to see here is your body motion is kind of backwards. You're on your back foot too long. Got a little scoopy there. See, this is about a 30-yard up in the air shot. There you go. So that impact right there when that ball's coming towards us means the club is out this way more than it was in the setup.
Right.
Difference between the sweet spot and the hosel is about 2 inches.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't sound like a lot unless you're talking about an impact.
No, actually,
it's a lot.
that's a lot of it.
So if you kind of look at your arms, so first thing I think we can fix, I think, is with your setup.
Yeah.
Just get you some room in there.
Okay.
Because right now your arms don't have any room, so they're going out away from you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's look at a couple full swings here just for this video. So if you kind of looked at the swing plane where the club goes, if you kind of put a little, here's your target. That's kind of where the ball's going to go. There's your swing plane. You got pretty quiet body motion going back, so your upper body does a lot of the turn, but you can see where that club's pointing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a perfect world, that club has more of a point we shouldn't be seeing that club over here.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the perfect world of a plane, the club is swinging up and down on this circle. So when you're crossing over like that, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then you add to that little, the club's going over here.
Yeah, yeah.
So you better lay it off, get it back on that circle.
So then I have to make up for it on my downswing.
And then we got that.
Right. Okay. So those are my two bad
There's
things.
a few band-aids there going on.
Okay.
So which good timing can fix.
Yeah. But I would rather.
I know.
Yeah.
But you can still hit a good shot this way.
Sure.
You do.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then from the front view, we see that same swing. You know, for you to be where you want to be, in my opinion, is you need to be about a +2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
that's 4 shots. That's 2 shots per night.
Yeah.
You know, those are. I'm not saying by a particular date.
Right.
I'm just saying for you to compete.
Right. I need to be a +2 to compete.
That's what I think.
Well, do you see enough tools to work with?
Yeah, there's not any question about that. You just don't have a knowledge base yet.
All right.
That's all. You don't know you do that.
No.
You've been told you do that.
Well,
do you feel?
Not really. All they say is stay back.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes when I hit one really good, I was like, that felt pretty good, but I could tell that I still was doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing too. I just timed it just right.
Yeah. So we're creatures of habit. We're creatures of instinct. So what we got to do is get, if that's something that needs to get fixed, then say, well, how are we going to do that? Staying back is not the answer. You need more specific information.
Okay.
More, that's when you do training drills, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So where the club points at the top of the swing, your first move from the top with the upper body, and then just some little basic setup stuff in that short game, I think, is a good place to start.
All right.